Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Java. Thank you for joining. This is Tuesday for September 26th, 2023. We've got a favorite risk indicator showing we are still kind of a high to extreme area. Basically, this is the area right now where we've got flocks of black swans flying overhead and we are tossing out grain. So, pretty much in a very precarious situation, as I would like to say. And we've got a couple of things that have been happening in this market. So basically, we're watching the fear trades kind of come in. The debt market is showing that high level of instability. So we're watching mostly components of this risk indicator is the 10-year yield at about 4.5%. So that is running into resistance probably about just a little 4.5. I expect that to start retracing between 4.5, 4.6. And then we've got the relative strength of the dollar. So I do believe the dollar will gain in strength before this is all over. However, it is also hitting a resistance area in the charts, and I expect that to retrace. So, what does that mean? That means actually that there could be a bounce in the stock market if these two do indeed come down. We'll see what happens. It's very volatile right now, very difficult to read what's going on. Trading at your own risk. This is not financial advice. I do expect the trend after probably a bit of a bounce to continue back in the downward trend that it currently is in. So let's take a look at our calendar for Tuesday. Basically expecting data on homes. New home sales, I expect to retrace a bit. It is for August, and I expect them to continue lower as builders have already offered lots of incentives to cut back on their inventory, trying to get ahead of the game. They see what's coming. We've got also consumer confidence, and Federal Reserve President will be speaking. So, on to oil. We've got finally the CEO of Chevron has spoken out about this. The US energy policy hindering oil production. They're talking about domestically in the United States. So, what they're doing currently is basically utilizing all of the high energy to produce the energy, shale mining, and they're cutting down on things that they're doing as far as either the pipeline or oil rich areas. So some are speculating that we're kind of holding it back, which might not be a bad idea given what's going on. So we've also got this story about the trade in sanctioned oil, basically a gray market for oil, if you will, booming as the US turns a blind eye. So, what is going on is because we are trying to punish Russia. I talked about this a couple of days back. We're allowing Iran to get through with some of their shipments of oil that they are supposed to be sanctioned. They're going to China and to other places. And along the way, a shipment or two will disappear, get raided by the US, our stocks go up, and the practice continues. So, we've got Russia also, who have been sanctioned on their oil. They were capped at $60 a barrel price. And how are they getting around this? Well, before they had to trade in the petrodollar, meaning that they must accept payments in US dollars. Well, now they're not doing that. They're accepting direct payments in either yuan, rupees, or whatever the native currency is. Their central bank has grown enough that they have reserves in multiple foreign currencies now, and they are doing direct trade. So that will have a profound effect moving forward. This not necessarily today, but in the times that are coming, the months ahead. So, want to bring up a few more things about the real United States economy regarding retail and inflation. We've got another United States retailer, a large one, filing an unexpected bankruptcy. So, this bankruptcy, they're filing a Chapter 7 and also for a Chapter 11, I'm sorry. This is Noble House, and they create furniture. So, kind of more of a not so much of a discretionary spending, but a little bit more. They provide, even though you haven't heard of them necessarily directly, they do resell through Amazon, Walmart, Costco, Wayfair, Overstock, Target, and Home Depot. So if you've purchased any of the furniture or seen that through that, it's probably through this company. So That's just a reality of another bankruptcy. We've got more that are coming as money gets more difficult to borrow and keep operations going. So we just heard about Rite Aid closing multiple stores. Now we've got CVS. It's another pharmacy in the United States. They are closing down up to 900 stores this coming year. So it's just not positive signs. So moving forward, as far as bankruptcies and credit, we're getting warning now from Moody's. So there are three major credit agencies. We've got Fitch, the S&P. They've already downgraded the United States credit. Moody's is the third and the final one. And they're saying that if the US government has a shutdown, that it could negatively affect its credit. And the last time, the last credit agency downgraded the United States credit, it hit markets pretty hard. So this shutdown is supposed to start possibly on October 1st, which is this coming weekend. Okay, I want to go over a few more things that are going to have a profound effect, new alliances that are forming. So this one specifically is Venezuela. So they are talking about the BRICS, the new alliance they are talking about. It's ideal for them to ditch the dollar. And the importance of this one is that two things. First, Venezuela just basically went through a hyperinflation through their country. They are a major oil producer. And if they join the BRICS nation, then the BRICS would encompass over 80% of the world's crude reserves and production. So this is a huge deal. And we've been talking about this a little bit. I think Argentina really is probably one of the only ones that we're looking at that might make an alliance with the United States. But we need to keep our eyes on this one and see what's going on here. That alliance is really growing, and they will not be trading in the US dollar. So we've got another kind of an off story. So I'm kind of reading the stories behind the stories, if you will. We've got the United States and Kenya signing a defense deal ahead of a possible Haiti mission. And you have to think about why they're doing this. Okay, Kenya is nowhere near. And why they're talking about Haiti, they're talking about the gang violence. So there is quite a bit there. But this is showing United States weakness. We cannot even go in there alone, that we need them with our defense forces to go in there because there's a lot of, they're basically having revolution right now as well. So yes, some of it is gang violence, but there's much more going on there than this story is really putting out. Okay, and we've got one other part of the story. On new alliances, the United States is looking at opening new embassies in the Cook Islands. So these seem small and insignificant, but these are strategic positions in the South Pacific. And basically, what is going on here is they are saying this is under the guise of climate change, that they're trying to help with that. And we all know that's a bunch of garbage. And they're doing this on the tails of the Solomon Islands turning their nose up at us and going the other direction with an alliance. So, namely, they have chosen to go with China. So we've got this other story too with Poland wants Canada's House Speaker out after honoring a Ukrainian Nazi. So this is an actual Nazi from World War II that has lived through, if you don't know or haven't heard, and they gave him a standing ovation. So of course, that doesn't really go over well. And there's all kinds of international relations now talking about this. But anyway, just want to give a quick reminder, if you don't mind, give me a like. I appreciate all of you that do that. There's quite a few of you. It really, really helps. So I've got one last thing I want to bring up before I let you go, and that is this particular company giving a drug out, and now it has been linked in a study for mutation patterns. And basically, it's causing this to evolve more, wouldn't you know? So I want to leave this up because I want it to be recognizable, not that anyone here would necessarily be thinking about taking it, but if you've got friends or family or they're looking at it, encourage them not to if you would. So with that, I want to wish you all a green trading day, just a wonderful day in general. Thank you again for being with me. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.